Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Battle for the Old World Total War Warhammer tournament. Now, these are the best of 3 rounds with myself going up against Moosey. So he's my first opponent in the tournament, and he could be my only one, based on how these best of 3 battles go. So this tournament is run by officially Devin and Mr. Smart Donkey, and essentially the rules are, it's a best of 3. So the maps used are Glacial Lake, Northern Chaos Waste, and Dock Koraz. Funds are limited to 15,000. You can only use legendary lords. You can only use 1 hero unit per battle. So you can see my cannons are firing off on their units already. And you can only spend 2,500 of your money on artillery, monstrous beasts, war machines, all that lovely stuff. So this was the first match between myself and Moosey. I'm playing as the Dwarves, and Moosey is playing as the Empire. Pretty decent setup with great swords, Demigryph Knights, 2 units over there, Reichsguard, and 2 units of crossbowmen. He's also got some Outriders. I've gone for, is that 3 units of cannons? I think that's 3 units of cannons, 4 units of Quarrelers, 4 units of Longbeards, and I think I've got 2 units of Iron Breakers, a Runesmith, and Ungrim Iron Fist here. So, we'll get this battle playing, and we'll see what happens in this round 1 of the best of 3. All the unit sizes are set to Ultra, and you can only use 1 faction once. So I can't use the Dwarves again in this round, essentially. So in the best of in the battles against Moosey, I can't use the Dwarves, and he can't use the Empire again. So I went for the tactic of just bring some artillery, hopefully smash down some of his great swords, as I knew they'd be pretty lethal. We also have my Quarrelers firing on in. I didn't really have a counter for the cavalry though, so where he's brought 6 units of cavalry, I was kind of a bit like, uh-oh. So, and I didn't actually notice the Outriders at the start either, but this is a very quick battle. It's only, what, 5 minutes long? So I'm still trying to pepper his line as much as possible before he gets into me. The Quarrelers are armor piercing, which is what I was going for. I was hoping to really smash his main line before he could kind of focus too much with the cavalry, which isn't really going to work. At least my tactic isn't really going to work. You're about to see what happens in this engagement. So, the Longbeards versus the Great Swords, his stats are kind of a little bit higher. So as you can see, my HP is going down very rapidly. And in fact, his main line is just stronger than mine overall. I'm trying to get rid of his Outriders with my Iron Breakers, and I've actually turned my Quarrelers to face them. Demigryphs getting some decent charges in. Demigryphs are absolute beasts, so they are an incredibly tough cavalry unit to finish off. I brought the Runesmith so he could kind of buster my line, and I was going to try and get the Wrath and Ruin on his leader. I think he's playing as Karl Franz, but he's kind of got him on a flank, which it wasn't in range, essentially. So the Reichsguard charging on in. My Iron Breakers are going to do a decent job of holding them, but the Demigryphs can just do cycle charges at this stage. I can't really do much about them. So this match was incredibly quick. It felt a lot longer at the time, but yeah. So these Demigryphs are just tearing in to my units here, and there's not a whole lot I can do to counter it. My line is kind of holding, but his units of Great Swords is just tearing into my line. They've already routed 1 unit of Longbeards, and my Quarrelers still going to try and get some shots off. Switch to their axes, try and hold them at bay. At this stage, though, we're actually level pegging in terms of units. But his cavalry can get some great charges off against my Quarrelers. My line is starting to fail. I've committed my general here, so I've got Ungrim in the battle. Try and inspire the rest of the line. My Runesmith at the minute, so where the battle was going so quickly, I'm really not used to these kind of quick multiplayer matches, so Franz just goes in, goes smashing into the Runesmith. I'm casting any runes I can, any kind of buffs I can give my troops. But as you can see, my leadership is going downhill. Yeah, so minus 10 leadership, so they're gone. The Demigryphs is still very much intact, but it's still level pegging. So, but you can see a lot of my units are routing. So they do have, well, it's Mr. Smart Donkey. Nope, Moosey does have that advantage. So I'm just getting feeling a bit hopeless at this point in the battle. I'm still going to keep on going, but as you can see, for the first time, it's going into his favour. All of my units are kind of routing, and the status of this at the minute, you can kind of see from the top view that all of my units, most of my units are routing. It's only really my main units, my general and my runesmith that are still going. So at this stage I was trying to get Rambler to try and take down Musi, see what we could do there, but being surrounded, he's just going to fall eventually, and with 30 seconds to go in the battle, I'm pretty sure you can guess which way this battle is going to go. So unfortunately, at the end of round 1, it's Musi 1, Rambler 0. So I need to win the next 2 matches to win. If Musi wins the next one, then I'm out of the tournament. And this is the first Total War Warhammer tournament that I've fought in, so I do want to get through to the next round. So let's end the replay here. We'll see the stats. So yeah, it was a valiant defeat on my end. The Quarrelers, it's kind of a waste of money bringing them. They didn't really get many kills, so neither were the Crossbowmen. The Great Swords performed very well, and this unit of Demogryph Knights performed extremely well. The Outriders didn't get too many kills, so my Longbeards managed to hold on for a little while. My Ironbreakers didn't perform as well as I wanted. The Cannons did okay. So this wasn't the best build I could have built, essentially. So I'll go on to the round 2 right now. Okay, so this is round 2, and I've gone for the greenskins, and Musi has gone for the Warriors of Chaos. Now, I'm not sure why the lighting has gone all warped in the replays. That seems to happen quite a lot with me, actually. So the lighting looks really good when I'm playing the battle, then I go to do the replay and it looks like messed up. So let's take a little look at Musi's build very briefly. So he's gone for Chaos Warhounds, Chaos Knights, some Chaos Warriors here, Chaos Warriors with great weapons, Chosen in the centre, Chaos Warriors on the flanks, a unit of Chaos Knights and Dragon Ogres, and then he's also got a unit of Forsaken and Musi there, which I think is Archeon. So I've gone for I didn't go for any missile units this time around. I've gone for Orc, Boar, Biggins, so I have 2 units of those and a Giant on the flank. Then I think I have like 8 units of Black Orc, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then Biggins, and then we have Grimgore, Ironhide. So this battle's even quicker, only 3 minutes. So if we click on play, neither of us brought any artillery. This was a very kind of heavy infantry focused fight. So I think Musi went with Warriors of Chaos, as they are a pretty strong faction. I kind of just decided to YOLO it as the greenskins. I didn't really have anything to lose at this point, but I did go for a very heavy build. So you can see that the balance of power is in his favour a smidge, and the Giant pretty much cost my entire 2,500 of the thingamabob, of the limit. So our cavalry is engaging here. Those Chaos Warhounds are poisonous. My Orc Boar Biggins are going on in. And I'm going to send a unit of Black Orcs round to help defend that. The engagement over here is probably going to go Musi's way because he's got Dragon Ogres and Chaos Knights. Whereas you can see like my Orc Boar Biggins are not really much of a chart. Well, they don't do very well against those. The centre, though, is about to clash. And I was thinking that Musi probably did have the advantage here. But as you can see, I've diverted 1 unit of Black Orcs to help out in that fight. And on this flank, I'm committing my Giant. Now, the main engagement, despite the kind of initial charge that those Chosen got off against the Black Orcs, now we're stuck in battle. I'm hoping that my Black Orcs are going to perform a little bit better. He's beaten my cavalry unit there. However, I've got my Giant in play here. And those Chaos Knights should fall. The Dragon Ogres, though, are going against my Orc Boar Biggins. We're not doing too badly against the Dragon Ogres, which I was kind of surprised about, actually. And as you can see, I've got 1 of my Black Orc units around. He's committing his reserve of the Forsaken to try and take me out there. Otherwise, he knew that I could just envelop him and kind of like break each unit in turn. But the engagement is going pretty well for me at the minute, so the leaderships are dropping in for both of us. His leadership is dropping a bit more. My Black Orcs are now performing very well. We've beaten away his cavalry. I'm still sending my Giant over there. Supported with the Black Orcs, we're now beating off the Chaos Knights there, and the Chaos Warhounds didn't really perform that well. So this flank is now completely freed up to go around here. We've beaten off this unit of Chaos Warriors, and we're beating this unit of Forsaken. In fact, the whole infantry battle has gone very much my way, which I was incredibly pleased about. The Chosen have beaten off this unit of Black Orcs. I keep saying beaten off all the time, that kind of sounds a bit dodgy. I do have Grimgor fighting in the battle as well, and then I send my Giant in to try and smash that unit of Chaos Warriors. My Orc Boar Biggins have come back, so I'm going to send those against the Dragon Ogres. The Giant I sent in to just finish off that flank here, so I was starting to get a bit hopeful at this point, like the battle's going in my favour. My infantry won the engagement here. The Giant doing what he does best, just smashing and clobbering. So this entire line, a very quick engagement. And now I'm trying to surround Archaon and just pretty much take him out, as I think I'd be able to secure the victory if I managed to do that. But Dragon Ogres are beating my Orc Boar Biggins here. So I decided to break off that engagement and focus on routing most of the remaining units. Going to send in Grimgor as well. Actually, no, I decided to keep him back because I don't want to risk losing him. Instead, I use the Stand Your Ground ability to buff all of my Black Orcs around there. So I'm trying not to commit Grimgor when I don't have to. I mean, he's got 12 kills and that's enough. I still have my Giant left into play. But with 15 seconds to go, I'm pretty sure you can guess that I have this one in the bag. So, at the end of round 2, I'm still in the game. So it's Moosey 1, Rambler 1. And it's just a mass chain rout. Let's take a little look at the statistics here. So my Black Orcs performed very well across the board. My Biggins did okay, actually. And my Giant did alright. Grimgor did alright. Archaon didn't get too many kills. Neither did the Chaos Warriors. The Chosen were his best performing unit. The Chaos Warhounds, probably a bit of a waste. And the Dragon Ogres did alright as well. So there we go. And I'm going to jump into the final battle now. This will decide if I get through to round 2. Okay, so this is the third and final match between myself and Moosey. I've gone for the Empire this time, and Moosey has gone for the Dwarves. So we pretty much reversed the roles of the first round. This time I've gone for Reiksguard, 2 units of Demigryphs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units of Great Swords, 2 units of Great Cannons, and I've also gone for the Witch Hunter and Karl Franz. Moosey has gone for 3 units of Gyrocopters with Brimstone Guns. He's gone for Ungrim Iron Fist, and he's gone for unit of Miners there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units of Iron Breakers and another unit of Miners, and he's also got 4 units of Quarrelers as well. So when I saw this build, I was thinking, okay, he didn't bring any artillery, so I'm going to get into range, fire off some shots, and hopefully take out a few of the Iron Breakers and whatever I can. I was thinking, great, I've taken out a few of the men already. Sweet. So you can see that he's moving back out of the range of my cannon, and I'm going to have to start moving up fairly slowly. So this is the longest battle that we actually fought. This is over 7 minutes, okay? So as you can see, I'm going to speed this up because there's not a whole lot's happening. He's sending his Gyrocopters over there. He's sending them over to the Demigryphs. Now this, I was not expecting. I wasn't expecting him to bring Gyrocopters. I didn't bring really any... I didn't use any money on any kind of missile units apart from the cannons, and obviously they're not going to be too much use against Gyrocopters. So you can see that he's trying to fire into my Demigryphs, and he's taken out 1 already. He's only focusing on the Demigryphs. And 3 units of Gyrocopters, I'm thinking, oh, bugger. So I'm trying to just like move them around as quick as I can, but he's getting off some decent shots against the Demigryphs. In fact, you can see their HP going down quite rapidly. I'm still trying to pound him with my cannons. So we'll hopefully inflict a bit more damage there. But where their range is extreme, their accuracy seems to have gone down a little bit. Yeah, so they're very edgily. And again, he's moving back. Moving back. So I'm going to have to keep on rushing my troops forward, because I know that if I allow him to keep on shooting my cavalry, that's going to leave me in a very poor position. Because I was relying on my cavalry to counter his dwarves, because they don't have any. So I'm going to keep on firing with my cannons. And as you can see, I'm just trying to move around my cavalry as much as possible while I bring up my main line, which have sprinted the whole way. So they are fresh still, which is good. The cannons are still firing in. So at this stage, I'm still softening them up a little bit. They haven't got as many kills as I would have liked. But from their first volley, they did take out a fair few. So this unit of demigriffs, yeah, shaken, damage sustained. Like, there's not a whole... I can't counter it, pretty much. So at this point, I was getting like, bugger. I was thinking... I had a defeatist attitude already when I shouldn't, really. So, he's trying to reform. I think he thought I was going to go for a cavalry charge straight away. He's routed my unit of demigriffs. But now my main line has actually made it forward. So I'm going to charge my great swords in there. And I'm going to have a ton of trouble charging forward. So you can see his iron breakers are just absolutely pounding me hard. There's so many innuendos in this video. But as you can see, I've managed to get one unit around the line already. That unit's got absolutely destroyed. The quarrelers were firing in, so I'm bringing around my great swords. It appears like he forgot about his gyrocopters for a second, which is all I needed to bring my cavalry around. Bringing my witch doctor forward as quickly as possible. And they've already routed one unit of my greatswords, and I wasn't that confident at this stage in the battle. I really wasn't. The amount of damage that I've already taken, I charged Karl Franz in to try and like bolster the morale of my men here. And as you can see, we've done stand your ground. We've done as many buffs as we can, and I'm bringing my witch doctor in to try and use the, I forget which ability it is. No, accuse. I'm just going to try and use the accuse ability against Ungrim, as I figured that would probably give me a fighting chance in this battle. So I'm getting some charges in now, trying to take out the quarrelers so he can't fire on me anymore. This engagement is going to go on for quite a while, but I was still I wasn't that confident. So you can see, like, we're equal in terms of numbers, but the dwarves, they just keep on fighting. But I believe I am using the accuse ability. He has lost half of his health that way. I'm bringing out my cavalry. I'm charging my demigriffs into those iron breakers. They're attacked in the rear, so I'm managing to cause a bit of mayhem. My unit of demigriff knights has come back again, so I'm moving those back into the battle. So this was a tense fight. At this stage, it could go either way. So I know what tough units the iron breakers are. I kept my witch hunter out of the battle as I was really trying to let that ability recharge. I know you may think it's a bit of a cheap way to get a victory, but that was my only choice at this stage, because I redirected my cannons to fire at the gyrocopters, and I'm going to get some more charges in here. I was basically just trying to charge as much as possible. I can't see where Franz is at the minute, so I sent in Franz as well. I sent in Franz to try and take down Ungrim. But really, I was just trying to focus on Ungrim at this stage. Those iron breakers, their morale is starting to drop. I've used my stand your ground ability again, so that increases my leadership, melee defense, and melee attack. So these buffs really are helping me out a great amount. And the engagement is starting to go my way now. The amount of rear charges that I managed to get on, the great swords are now proving their worth, along with the abilities. Those abilities really did help me in that engagement. Musi, I'm now just trying to take down. So there we have like Franz taking down Ungrim. Musi's still trying to hang on in there. But I still was wondering, so we've taken down the enemy lord now, and I'm still wondering what can I do against these. But where his general has now fallen, a lot of the units are going to start breaking. And I was starting to get a bit hopeful at this stage in the battle, but I didn't have a counter to the gyrocopters. Like, these things are still going to be an issue. But if I manage to rout most of his other units, they should start to rout as well. It should hopefully cause a bit of a chain rout. Great swords, still doing very well here. They're very tired now because they had to run like pretty much the whole map. But the engagements are going in my favour now. So there we go. My cannons, I'm still trying to focus fire, but they're going to be very hard to hit. So there we go. We actually managed to hit one there. But my great swords are trying to kind of surround the iron breakers. Only got 450 men left. He's only got 250. I still have my general. This engagement has been going on pretty much the whole battle. And I really am just trying to finish off as many units as possible. But that is pretty much it for Musi. So, all of his remaining units are starting to rout. And that is Rambler 2, Musi 1. And with that, I am through to the second round of the Battle for the Old World tournament. I don't know my opponent yet, as we don't know the outcome of the other battles. But pretty happy to be through. There are 16 players to start with. I'm through to the final 8, so that's technically the quarterfinals. I got through the group stage. Huzzah! So I'm performing, what, better than England did at the last World Cup. So, woohoo! That's it for me for now. These are the stats of the units. So my Great Swords performed pretty well. That one got absolutely decimated. Demigriffs did well. Witch Hunter did pretty decent as well. He got quite a few kills. Those miners weren't really worth the money. The Quarrelers didn't do too well either. Gyrocopters did alright. But there we go. Until next time, everyone, I bid you a very, very... Oh, also, GG to Musi. It was pretty even. You know, it definitely wasn't like a slaughter either way. So I think we both did really well. So, there we go. Good game to you, sir. And until next time, everyone, I bid you a very, very good day.